What's going on guys, Mears here, and as you can already tell by the title, I've got 6 ideas for the game that I think are going to help it massively. I know the game at the moment still has a lot of issues with it, a lot of glitches, a lot of problems. It is still an alpha, and there's a lot of things being promised that aren't necessarily being brought in very quickly. I'm talking about the XP system. So I'm going to be trying to avoid anything that they've already got in development or that they've spoken about already about bringing out, and all of these ideas are going to be completely new things that hopefully you've never heard of before, and I've thought of them all myself. Everything that I'm going to say is from a vanilla standpoint, so if I say losing 50 HQM is quite a lot to me, and you play it on a ×10 modded server where you can get 50 HQM just by mining 4 or 5 nodes outside your base, don't be surprised if you don't understand why I'm upset over 50 HQM. Tell me below what you think should be implemented into the game. And while you're listening, tell me which of my ideas you like most. Talking about 50 HQM, the first thing I want to bring up is the scope. The scope is a very, very expensive item. I know that they've changed the prices on a lot of the attachments already, but the scope has remained the same. I completely understand this, and I know why it's 50 HQM. In case anyone doesn't, the reason that it costs 50 HQM is because it's a very, very, very good attachment, and it's very easy to use. So if you're at long range, it's so much easier to kill someone. It's borderline overpowered compared to the other attachments, which is why it has to stay expensive so that every clan can't just have 50 of them. When big groups or just even solo players go out, they can't just take a scope as if it's nothing. You know, it has to be a big loss if you lose it. That in mind, as it's a PvP item, I really don't think that we should be forced to farm for it. If you try and implement a PvP sense to it, it'll be more interesting to get one. What I mean by this is, if we implement a scope into airdrops, I think this will be a lot better, but not just a scope into any airdrop. So 1 in 3, 1 in 4, 1 in 5 airdrops will have a scope in, but it won't be the scope itself. It'll be something called a spyglass. So people will still need to go out and farm the blueprint for a scope, but once they have the blueprint for the scope and they get a spyglass from an airdrop, and I personally think, I don't know, 10 HQM, I think that's a reasonable amount. 10 HQM and 1 spyglass can make a scope. This will make airdrops quite contested, because I don't know about you guys, but I find during the mid game, people really don't care about airdrops anymore, and the bigger clans just don't even bother going for them anymore. And by doing this, the scope is going to become more of a cherished item as opposed to just 50 HQM that a clan of 20 can farm in 5 minutes, and people are going to be more careful about taking them out. Unfortunately, this does mean if you're a roof camper and it's early game and you can't be bothered going for airdrops, you just want to farm for a scope, you do actually have to do some PvP. Shame. Right, that was the most long-winded and a bit far-fetched, but the rest of the ideas are relatively simple. Next, I think that we should have like a disassembly bench. So I don't know if they have any thoughts on this at all. I couldn't find anything. I did check up quickly. Basically, this is just a way of recycling materials. So if you have a hatchet and you've repaired it 2 or 3 times and it doesn't have much durability left and it just dies way too quickly, what you can do with a Z hatchet is just take it up to a disassembly bench and you put your item in, then you wait like something like 10 seconds, 15 seconds, something similar to the waiting time on a research bench, and then you get about 1/5 of your materials back. So for example, with an AK that costs 50 HQM and 200 wood, you'll get back 10 HQM and 40 wood. Idea number 3 is about seeds. Now when you throw seeds on the floor, they just despawn like all other items. This is just some quirky little thing that I like. If you throw like 60 seeds on the floor, like let's say you got a big stack of 60, after 10 seconds of being on the floor, they automatically just plant themselves and you just get one big stack of 60 hemp seeds all in the same spot. This is just something that I think should be implemented, because if you chuck seeds on the floor, they don't despawn, you know what I mean? My next idea are energy drinks. I really think that rad towns are lacking in the amount of food and waters and drinks and stuff that you can get from barrels. I think it would be really cool to add an energy drink, but like max power energy, yeah, or something on the side of it. I don't know. I just think it'd be cool to see some more stuff. I specifically wrote down energy drink in the script here. It doesn't have to be an energy drink, but you know, something new would be nice. A can of something would be pretty cool. While I'm talking about food and drink and seeds and stuff, this is my 5th idea. I think that berries should be implemented into the game properly. We sort of have berries, you get them in airdrops. You get like blackberries and blueberries, but they're very rare and they're very useful because I'm pretty sure they give 10 HP instantly. I don't know if they still do or not, but berries should be brought into the game more seriously. Maybe nerf them a little bit because they're very overpowered at the moment. I think there should be a way to find berries in places like forests, you know, where you typically find like berry bushes. And in your inventory, you can click on the berry and you click like extract seeds or like crush. Yeah, you click crush on the berry. and you get like a handful of seeds, and like maybe your fingers go a bit dirty or whatever. And that's not really important, that dirty fingers bit, but you can crush up berries and you get the seeds from them, and then you can get let's say a couple of seeds per berry. You can go home and you can plant the berries around your house, and boom, you got berry bushes growing. You got another source of food, and it's something different to pumpkins or corn. Because, not being funny, who the hell eats pumpkins? Who? I know you don't. You're looking at me right now saying, actually Max, I eat pumpkins. No, you don't lie to me. And I mean, corn's not bad, but you know, no thank you. My sixth idea, again, is kind of a quirky little thing that I personally think would be enjoyable. I can understand why a lot of vanilla servers wouldn't want it, but I think it will make the early game a bit more enjoyable. It's very, very simple. When a server restarts, there's a series of 2x1s or 1x1s already placed around the map. Now, there's only going to be like 4 or 5 of these. They are not in prime locations by any means, places where people want to build. You can still build around them. They basically look like a small 2x1 house that a player ran up and placed and then put a couple of small materials in and left. They will not be resource rich in any sense, and they will be booby trapped just for fun. By this I mean like they'll have a landmine inside or something like that. There'll be like a bow with like a quarter of its health left, maybe a half-used pickaxe or half-used hatchet, stone of course, and a very small amount of basic materials like a bit of raw food, maybe 600-700 wood and a couple hundred stone. There'll be a window on the first floor as well, so that people are sort of deterred from using it, and if they do use it, they have to build around it pretty quickly. They can't just log onto a server, claim this little base and start playing properly from it. Again, that's kind of a silly idea, and I'm not entirely sure about it myself, but definitely on modded servers I can see something like that happening. Well guys, these are my 6 ideas. I personally quite like all of them. If you liked any of them, please tell me in the comment section below. If you thought they were stupid, please tell me that as well. And I'm sure a lot of you have loads of your own ideas, so definitely tell me about those below as well. Thank you very much for watching the video, and as always, have fun guys.